Released all the way back in 2017, 20XX was a really unique spin on the Mega Man-style action platformer. At the time, the roguelike elements felt relatively fresh. The randomly generated levels, good sound mechanics reminiscent of the Mega Man X series, and a bumping soundtrack made it, in my opinion, a somewhat overlooked indie treasure. But the game did have enough of an audience behind it to rally up a sequel, which has been brewing in early access for a good while now, and it's ready at last for its big debut. 30XX is here, and it delivers the same great roguelike gameplay of its predecessor, even more refined, and with some new elements to boot. Hey, by the way, are you tired of the gaming echo chamber blasting you with its Mega Buster? Head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to learn about the incredible perks we offer you, and be sure to like and subscribe to bring a voice to indie developers. So, just as it was in the original 20XX, the best aspect of 30XX, in my humble opinion, is its sound mechanics. You won't get much of a story here, no. This is a game that is very proud of the way it plays, as it should be, and simply wants you to engage with those gameplay mechanics. 30XX can be enjoyed in single-player, local co-op, or even online play is available. The controls will feel quite comfortable for fans of the Mega Man X series in particular, as you have your standard attack, be it Buster or Blade, depending on your character, with jumping and dashing being also a huge factor as you might expect, and then you gain other powers and abilities throughout your runs. Easy to play, tough to master, but feels really great. 30XX features a solid tutorial, but from there it's all about the runs, and grinding for more power-ups to get further into those runs. But wait, you do have another option here if you aren't necessarily a fan of the rogue loop, as 30XX includes a Mega Mode outside of the Standard Mode. In Standard Mode, you'll have just one life to live before you're sent crying all the way back to your main headquarters upon death. From there, you can upgrade your character in hopes of getting stronger and further along in those runs. But in Mega Mode, the Permadeath is gone, and that's worth celebrating if you ask me. With Mega Mode, you'll keep all your level progress, however the random generation of levels is still in play. That said, you can replay levels again as you wish, and for me, this actually became my preferred way of playing this game. It's not exactly like a traditional Mega Man style game, but I applaud the developers for including this mode, and it's fairly close. I enjoyed it. On top of that, the developers have also done a great job with accessibility options. You can change the controls however you like, the visibility, and there are even assist options to further help players. You gotta admire when a developer allows for anyone, regardless of skill level, to enjoy their game. On top of those two modes, you'll also have access to community-created levels, which can be rated by you, and hell, you might even want to try to make your own if you're into that kind of thing. It was a little over my head, so a lot of love and care has gone into 30XX, and it's not a game that's short on content, that's for sure. But let's talk about the Standard Mode, which starts you in your headquarters and allows for you to travel about freely, selecting either to start a new run, launch co-op, or even unlock prototypes. These prototypes carry a risk-reward element with them, but one thing's for sure, they can dramatically change the way that 30XX plays. There's 8 bosses to try to take down, all with their own themed levels, which again, are randomly generated, and there are plenty of upgrades to be found to make your character stronger. I haven't even touched on some of the challenge hubs that are available, like Boss Rush. I wasn't kidding. There's a crap ton to do here, and there's even leaderboards along with daily and weekly challenges. With the Mega Mode, you won't get all of those story beats, though, as I mentioned, story isn't a massive factor here, but the 8 bosses are available right away to choose between of your own free will. Each level is marked with a difficulty, so it might be wise to take on some of the easier bosses first. This mode also allows players to access the Nut Emporium, yet another way to acquire items to help you along your journey. There are augments, auto-charging, there's auto-combos. It's honestly pretty overwhelming for a new player, but I imagine if you were a part of early access, everything was rolled out in sections. Here, with the full release, you have a real big plate in front of you to chomp on. Yes, 30XX is a bit intimidating for newcomers, but nobody can really question its fantastic mechanics. The jumping and dashing feel excellent, the weapons and specials fantastic, and hell, even the co-op works quite a bit better in 30XX than it did in 20. I'm not the biggest fan of random generation of levels, but I was able to look past that a bit because of how the game controlled. It just felt phenomenal. Visuals also impress, bright and colorful, perhaps even sweeter than an X game to be honest. You have gorgeous pixel art, a good assortment of enemies, and some pretty well-designed boss battles too that always keep the game looking visually interesting. As you would expect, you have a lot of robotic creatures throughout, with level themes like a jungle and a hot lava zone. You know, you gotta have the hot lava zone in all of these games, right? To accompany the lovely visual presentation is a great set of musical compositions. These electronic thumping tracks deliver the goods with lots of catchy synths accompanied by by crunchy 16-bit era sound effects that serve the game quite well. Overall, it's a great presentation for a really great playing game. 30XX doesn't completely redefine itself, and perhaps isn't as fresh of a concept as it was in 2017, but it still delivers a great experience. I love the controls, the two different characters that play differently, and the visuals have really gotten quite the upgrade from the previous game. The soundtrack is fantastic, and the co-op is a nice touch. That was available in the last game. I feel like it works better here. All in all, it's a great sequel that fans of Mega Man games should consider adding to their collection, and if you were a fan of 20XX, I think you're really gonna like 30XX. Yes, Old Man Joe still prefers his traditional Mega Man action platformers, but that doesn't take away from the greatness of 30XX. Check this one out.